Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your forecast for your astrology forecast, that is for February 2026. Wow, time is passing us right by. And before we get started, I just want to share with you some of the things that I want to point out for the month because this is a fast month because we only have 28 days in February. So things are moving pretty rapidly at this time. And when I say 2026, it brings to mind that in Ethiopia, they're only in 2018 because of the calendar that they use. So we're here, they're there, and their calendar is a solar calendar, whereas ours is the Gregorian calendar. But with their calendar, their body is more accustomed to the earth because it being a solar calendar, when the sun rises, that's when the time begins. When the sun sets, that's when the time ends. Okay, and I think that's important because we are, as a collective, our frequency on the planet is being reset because we're in the age of Aquarius, right? And the feminine Kundalini energy is rising, so that is creating change, and that's why in the Americas we see that government system breaking down because the Kundalini energy is about not about control, okay? It's more about our emotions and bringing love into the story, you know. So we're seeing a lot of what's been hidden coming to the surface, especially with those people who are in positions of authority. Okay, and what we have this month is a stellium starting out the month in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius is all about the people having the power. Okay, and in the Americas, we can see that the system is breaking down and the people are starting to pay attention, take control. Okay, so we have, Mercury in Aquarius right now, Venus in Aquarius right now, the Sun in Aquarius right now. And we also have two asteroids, Vesta, and Vesta is the virgin goddess of hospitality. However, she's committed to her own internal flame. Okay, so when we're talking about your own internal self, God, that's where Vesta is touching in on us, is for us to remember who we really are. And the other asteroid is Astrea, and she is about justice, okay? And this is what we're looking at right now at this moment in time. We're looking at how that feminine energy is rising. And again, it's called the Kundalini, where, you know, some of us may have thought that that was a masculine energy, but no, it's a female energy. And we all have male and female in our body, okay? We are dual energies. So she's raising the vibration, and it is up to us as individuals whether or not you want to change your frequency, okay? Because either you in or it's going to go without you. Okay, and let's see what else did I want to say. We also have Pluto in Aquarius, okay? So big changes, transformation energy here. Then we have this full moon in Leo, which is about the heart, you know, thinking, not thinking with your mind, but with your heart, okay? And this is in opposition to this stellium in Aquarius. However, with the full moon, we're talking about releasing things that no longer serve us. So it's a time where we have to get to the point where we have to start shining, okay? This is our time to shine as individuals. So wherever it is in your, what is it, your inner child, where you feel or was taught that you're not enough, you are enough. And you have to change that concept of who you are, because this is about growth. And whether we like it or not, we're going to have to accept where we're headed. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to just discuss a few other things that's happening this month. We have Uranus turning direct in in Taurus, okay? And then we have Mercury moving out of that stellium into Pisces on the 6th. Venus moves out of that stellium and moves into Pisces on the 10th. Saturn, this is the big deal. Saturn moves into Aries on the 13th, okay? And that is where Saturn will stay there for the next 2 years. And that's where we have Neptune, and they will conjunct. Okay, we also have there is so much packed energy here. We have the solar eclipse happening in Aquarius, and that's going to be on the 17th. And we also have the lunar new year happening as well, moving out of the snake energy, Kundalini, and into the fire horse. So we have lots of fast paced energy happening this month. So things are going to be moving rapidly, suddenly, shockingly, because we have Uranus moving direct. Okay, and let's see if there's anything else I want to share with you. On the 20th, Saturn conjuncts Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees. Now, this is like a super duper manifesting energy. So, whatever it is that you feel, because it's your emotions that is going to dictate to how your manifestations show up for you in your life. So use your feelings wisely. We also have Mercury turning retrograde in Pisces on the 26th. And the last thing, we'll have Mars in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus on the 27th. Okay, so take a breather. You know, you got to settle in and try not to be reactive, because this passionate, fiery energy is here for us this month. But we need to move with intention and consciously. Okay, so I'll see you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Capricorn rising collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, a Astro Cheryl, and this is your monthly forecast for February 2026. Now, I did an intro video with some highlights and some little nuggets of information. So check that out because right now we're going to get right into the forecast. Okay, on the 1st of February, we have a full moon in Leo, and this is happening in your 8th house of transformation, death, joint resources, other people's money, investments, debt, finances, banking, taxes, psychological issues, your intuition and psychic abilities is also part of this 8th house experience. Okay, so this full moon is in Leo, and Leo is heart centered. Okay, so if you're in your head trying to figure things out, try to come down to your heart and talk from that space of love. All right, also heal or comfort your inner child and know that you are enough. Okay, because in this 8th house things can get a little you can be less sure of yourself. So shine your light and be a beacon and use your intuition and your psychic abilities to your advantage. Okay, and like someone has said in the past, you're not crazy, you're just psychic. Okay? All right, so let's get into it. It says expect culminations around resolving joint finance issues, ending toxic bonds, or experiencing profound emotional catharsis that demand vulnerability and trust. Your healing comes from honest confrontations that can spark renewed vitality in your partnerships. Okay, on the 3rd, we have Uranus stations direct to Taurus. And this is happening in your 5th house of creativity, your hobbies, your inner child, children, and romance. Okay, so this transit sparks unconventional, because Uranus is unconventional, creativity, experimental hobbies, and a desire for authenticity in your joy. Romance becomes unpredictable with sudden attractions, breakups, or non traditional partnerships, but you may be resistant to change. Encounters with children may lead to unexpected pregnancies or innovative parenting approaches. Okay, so with Uranus, things are shaken, jolted, shocked, electric, and it happens fast. Okay, so this whirlwind of things passing through your 5th house will, happen to you suddenly, okay, and unexpectedly. So on the 6th, we have Mercury moving to Pisces and its detriment in Pisces. And this is happening in your 3rd house of communication, siblings, your neighborhood, and your old friends from the past. All right, so your thinking becomes fluid and dreamy like, okay? Blending facts with feelings for creative insights. Your day to day conversations may turn philosophical or artistic, but details can blur, which may lead to misunderstandings. Short trips or sibling interactions feel more emotionally charged and inspiring. Okay, 7 days later, which is on the 10th, Venus enters Pisces and it's exalted in your third house. Okay, you may find your words flowing more artistically, making conversations persuasive and romantically tinged. This is a good time for writing, teaching, or resolving misunderstandings. Venus loves being in Pisces, okay? So on the 13th, we have Saturn moving to Aries, where it will remain until April of 2028. That's 2 years. Saturn is in your fourth house of your private life, your home, your physical place, your property, your family, your siblings, your parents, your ancestry, okay? And real estate as well is part of this fourth house energy. So you are encouraged to restructure your private life. Change in residence may occur. Renovations or caregiving duties may happen for your family, especially your parents. You will have to confront your childhood parent patterns or insecurities despite initial delays and despite frustrations. All right, on the 17th, we have the new moon in Aquarius, and this is happening in your second house of finances, self worth, your values, your possessions, and self esteem is here. And this new moon is about setting your intentions. So your intentions may be for you to experiment with alternative revenues sources. That's if you can, such as freelance gigs in innovative fields, because we're talking about Aquarius, and this is forward-thinking, innovative, technological, freedom-loving sign, or group-funded ventures. Reassess your self-esteem, ties to money, and detach from outdated beliefs for empowerment. Unexpected opportunities may arise, but ground them into long-term vision instead of, just for the moment. So on the 20th, we have Neptune in Aries conjunct Saturn, and this is at 0 degrees. And this is happening in your fourth house again, and this is a new beginning. And this conjunction is the beginning of a 36-year cycle. Now remember, Saturn is only going to be in the fourth house with Neptune for 2 years. So this is a testing period for us with this conjunction wherever it is in our charts. So the lesson needs to be learned, because after Saturn moves out of the fourth house, that just leaves Neptune, which is boundless, okay? So Neptune has a tendency, and Pisces have a tendency to merge into other energy and can't tell the difference between theirs and the energies that they are merging into. So you have to learn to have boundaries and ground into the solidness of that Saturnian energy. It's a heavy earth energy, but it keeps you it keeps you in yourself, okay? It keeps you anchored. All right, so the beginning of this 36-year cycle is going to start out, expect blurred boundaries at home, like escapist family dynamics or hologram fears that may disable your progress and your accountability. You will experience heightened psychic sensitivity to family secrets or unspoken tension. This transit opens your deep emotional and spiritual ties to your past that may lead to confusion or instability. Okay? So, this is why Saturn is here to help you ground, teach you how to ground and stabilize your energy and stay anchored. Okay? Because Neptune will be here for 11 years. So on the 26th, we have Mercury retrograde in Pisces in the third house. And this is your house of siblings and communication, neighborhoods, and short trips. So it brings confusion in your day to day in exchanges like sibling talks, or short trips, urging reflection on past misunderstandings. Your intuition sharpens. Subtle cues are, your intuition sharpens those subtle cues that you see, feel, and hear. Yet illusions or escapism can blur facts. Okay, so this too shall pass. Expect brain fog or delays in learning, and expect things to happen in the neighborhood. All right? Issues with the neighborhood. All right, so let's see. The 27th, we have Mars in Aquarius, and this is square Uranus in Taurus. This is happening in your second house of finances and self worth, self esteem, your values and possessions. And it squares Uranus in Taurus, and this is happening in your fifth house of joy, of hobbies, creativity, romance, your inner child, your joy, and children. Okay, you may experience abrupt breaks like risky games of speculation. Games of speculation is also a part of the fifth house. Gambling. Blowing budgets or rebelliously quitting your joyless job. You are at risk for sudden accidents or heated arguments over fun versus security. Create invented side effects or side hustles to avoid explosive setbacks. Okay? So, you have to find your space because Mars can act out. So this is a time for you to be emotionally mature with this transit that's happening. Okay? Because it will take you out of your space. And Saturn is not there, but Saturn is playing a big part here to help you learn how to ground and stabilize your energy and anchor yourself so that you can allow what no longer serves you, that anger, you could channel it into something more positive. Okay? So, Capricorn rising, this is your forecast for February 2026. And until next time, bye for now.